hold on a second, was in adult entertainment, and, Shannon is so green, y'all. She was like, "What's that?" Adult entertainment? What what does that mean? It's like, "Shannon, stop it." So she was a stripper, and ultimately he thought he could change her ways, okay? He used to own a club as well, so I don't know how that works. I don't know how you own a club but then try to change somebody. I don't know. But anyway, it did not work. What is up, y'all? I hope y'all are doing well. Happy New Year 2026. I couldn't get out of 2025 quick enough. All right. But we are happy for a fantastic new year. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm tired. Are y'all ready for y'all kids to go back to school? Because I'm ready. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Oh, and I'm gonna take down my tree. Just it's just been a lot. Okay. But I'm gonna take down my tree. This will be my last show with the tree. I should have turned the lights on. But anyway, I hope y'all doing good. We are ready for another episode of Ready to Love. Okay. Season 11, episode 9. So where we left off, last week's show, the men got to meet the ladies' best friends. Okay. And now it's time for elimination. So I was thinking that Cardi, and I've been calling him Cardi, so I'm gonna keep calling him Cardi. I thought that he might be going home. It seemed like I didn't think he really, I still don't think he really has a deep connection with any of the ladies. And a lot of them were saying he was more surface level. So I was thinking that he would end up going home. So it ended up being between him and Devon. Um, and so I was pretty shocked that Devon ended up going home. And that just shows you that, and I kind of got to boo this one because I really want him to stay for Shannon. So I was kind of disappointed about that. But that just shows you how royally he bombed those best friend dates. Because I mean, Devon was one of the guys that I was pretty sure, probably 100% sure that would make it to the end. He had a strong connection with, well, his head, Dominique and Shannon. So I'm just like, what happened? Yeah, man, just like that, out of there. So yeah, he played it too cool, too safe with those dates. He thought that he was the prize, and man, got burnt. So Divine is no more, y'all. But I'm hoping that him and Shannon still talk post show. I'm hoping. Um, and that's the thing. I guess I can do my tangent button.
This is a tangent.
That's the thing about this show. It's difficult because you have to have multiple connections to stay on, right? Because if everybody is like, "Oh yeah, he don't talk to me," you gonna get voted off. But then you kind of gotta also be focused in on one person, and let that one person know. So it's difficult. It's difficult, and Devon wasn't able to toe that line well enough. Um, Sometimes, I mean, I wish it was a way that everybody could just make it to the end almost. I don't know how they would do it, but like there were no vote offs. Like maybe it was something some other thing that they could do to make it fun or interesting from show to show. Almost like Big Brother, you know how well they vote people off too, but you know how they have those big challenges and things like that. So but yeah, it'd be cool if everybody could just make it to the end and then at the end you kind of have to choose who you want. Um all right, so then Tommy comes in and he lets us know it is time for the getaway. And I always love the getaway trips because this is where the drama comes alive, okay? The men are always trying to navigate multiple connections. The women are trying to like claim their man, and this is all it never works out right, and it's always good TV. All right, so I forgot where they said they went. But nonetheless, Dominique got right to it. All right, she took Shannon's room, and she's very thirsty for Bello. Okay, so I guess it looks like Shannon chose a room, but then Dominique like moved her stuff, and I don't know what was happening. But she just knew she was gonna be in the room with Bello. And see, and I always tell you, I would play it cool and see if the men would or the man or men, if they would pursue me on their own. Like that's kind of how I would do it versus, being all catty and I gotta get a room with him and are you gonna spend time with me and don't forget about me? I would kind of just play it cool and kind of see if they would find their way to me. But one of the ladies are going home, which I think that's rude too. Like, why can't they go home after the trip? Like, why are they going home on the first night? But anyway, I'm thinking Lauren. Again, I don't see I haven't seen Lauren have a deep enough connection with any of the guys. I think they're all surface level. So I'm worried about her. I'm worried about Donna. The only person that likes Donna is Vince. So if he changes his mind, she's gone. And plus the whole religion thing. So none of the guys really into her. And then Shannon, I'm worried about her too. Cause I think Devon was her person. So I'm worried that she doesn't really have anybody. Um, and then the other thing, Darius is hilarious with these furs. But I love it. I love it. I love the style. He gonna have a fur in every color. If he don't do nothing else, he gonna have a fur. Like, where are you? Are you making these? Are these custom? Are you going somewhere to buy these? I mean, I'm talking about blazers with furs on them on the collar. But I love it. I love it. Okay, so next, oh, I'm not multitasking well enough. Let's see, Darius and Shannon. All right, so for this, I'm just like, Shannon, don't waste your time, girl. He's not into you. He's just not that into you. But anyway, she asked him about because previously he said that he had dated someone for 11 years, but they did not get married. So she asked him about that, and he said that the lady that he was dating was in hold on a second, was in adult entertainment. And Shannon is so green, y'all. She was like, "What's that?" Adult entertainment? What what does that mean? It's like, Shannon, stop it. So she was a stripper. And ultimately he thought he could change her ways. Okay. He used to own a club as well. So I don't know how that works. I don't know how you own a club but then try to change somebody. I don't know. But anyway, it did not work, okay? He said it was like an on again, off again type of situation. And that's what worries me about Darius. He said that multiple times. Even last was it the last show? Or the show before last, the one where they brought their exes? And y'all remember when was it, yeah, well, I think it was Shannon. Shannon asked the ex, like, well, how long ago did y'all date? And like the ex couldn't say a straight answer. She was like, uh, so that makes me feel like, are y'all on again, off again? I feel like he has a lot of on again, off again situations going with various women. So that's what worries me about him. But anyway, after she found that information out, you could kind of tell how she switched her tune. I think she definitely looks at him a little differently now, and I definitely felt the judgment. But Shannon, let's remember nobody's better than anybody else, okay? Just because of their career choice. And so, but yeah, she was just like, what did she say? It's like, what attracts you to a person? I was like, dang. So she lost all respect for Darius. Um, but anyway, I don't think they're compatible anyway, so it's really not a big deal. Bring back Devon. Um, it's like you should have fought harder for him, Shannon. But I guess that just hurt her feelings when Devon said that she wasn't in his top, or she was in his what, top four, three, something like that. But anyway, it's a no for Darius, Shannon. Like, don't even worry about that. So next we go over to Donna and Vince. So so okay, this is what had happened. Steven was talking to Donna, okay? Shannon, who is desperate, because her man is gone. She butts in. Now it's 3 of them, right? She was like, what y'all talking about?" So then all 3 of them sit down to talk, right? So then Vince comes over, so now it's 4 of them, and Vince takes Donna. So out of all of that, when Steven was trying to talk to Donna, out of all that, Donna ends up with Vince, and that leaves Steven to talk to Shannon, which I don't know if y'all peeped this, but I kind of felt like Shannon was forcing the issue with Vince, Steven. It's kinda what I felt like, "Hey," making herself a third wheel. There was another scene when, he was in his room and she kinda, like, ran up to him, like, jumped on his bed, and I don't know, every time I seen them, it just seems like she was kind of the aggressor and doing the most, and he was kinda like, "Hey," trying to be nice, so I don't know. But anyway, Vince has a conversation with Donna and she wants to know if he really wants more kids. And he said he does, as he's told us before. And they talk about having blended families, which Vince is fine with that. And Donna comes from a blended family as well. And I really like this combo. I just don't know. I still don't know if they're gonna work because it's like everybody is irritated with Vince. So I'm like, Donna, why are you not irritated with Vince? I know, different strokes for different folks. I get it, but I'm just like, do you really like him or are you trying to stay on the show and you want to make sure you have somebody? So I'm just like this whole debate thing that he does that not bother you? Have you not seen that? Side of him yet. So I don't know, but to each his own. So they had a pretty good conversation. And then we go over to Lauren and Bello. So Lauren wants to talk to Bello about sharing a room with Dominique. So I told you Dominique was real quick to choose a room, her and Bello. Lauren also is a connection to Bello. So she was like, wait a minute. Um, so then she talks to him, but it was very confusing because she told us in the confessional, like, yeah, because he gonna have to choose. Because if you stand in a room with Dominique, then that's a problem for me. So I was like, cool, bet. She about to go address it with him. She sits down with Bello and she starts talking about how she gotta play it safe and she can't be her full self and all this stuff. And I'm like, what does that got to do with anything? You know what I'm saying? I was just like, "Why can't you just tell him what you told us?" She didn't say anything about the room, didn't mention it. So she was just talking in riddles a little bit, and I think that's when Bella was like, "Yeah, it seems like she's, like, playing chess, like, if I do this, she'll do that," and so, yeah, I think she just shoulda came out and been more, straightforward. And then also with them, it's a no, I just don't think the chemistry is there. Again, every time I see them, they're just talking like I don't even know if it's on some friend stuff. It's almost like more of a cordial, I'm just being polite type of thing. I just don't see it for them anyway. Um, and then thought it was kind of rude too that Bella was like, "Well, I mean, somebody going home tonight, so if you play it too safe, it might be you." I was like, "Dang, Bella." So, I just didn't think that was something you would say to somebody you're really into like your maybe number 1 and number 2 connections. I just didn't think you would say something like that. I know he was kinda joking and tongue in cheek, but still, I was like, "Dang." So, I don't see it for them. And then next we had Ashley and Carday. So, Carday takes Ashley's feedback. So, Ashley has been screaming that he's not deep enough. And so he brings what he calls a one-wheeler or something, a one-wheel, something like that. I've never seen that before, and a helmet for her to try out. Looked pretty difficult to me. Um, um, so I don't know if that was the thing to do, but I could see the effort. I could see the effort. And she tried to do it for a little bit. It didn't work out. Yeah. And then that was the scene. And cut. I was like, did they talk about anything else? Like, that was the scene? I thought the whole purpose was for him to go deeper. So Imma just say that maybe production didn't show it. So clearly y'all didn't do that and that was it. Like, did y'all talk about something? I brought this because, I've been one wheeling since I was 14, and, my daddy taught me." Like, I thought we was flowing into a story or something, so I don't know what that was about, but A for effort, I guess. Alright, so then let's go over to Bello and Dominique. Alright, so Dominique asked Bello about his timeline for marriage. Bello says he needs at least 2 years, which that's fair. I like that. I'm glad he didn't give the cliche, "Well, it depends, how we vibing," and I'm glad he just kept it straight. I need at least 2 years. Thank you. And I do think they will choose each other. Out of everybody on the show, they seem to have the most genuine, connection, I would say. Um, but at this point, y'all, I was just like, "Where is the drama?" And I know that's bad. I know that's not right to say, but I was kinda bored at this point. I was like, "Can we get somebody to spice it up?" Like, what is going on? We everything was just real bland, real tame. So we spiced it up a little bit at dinner. Darius asked the group, it's probably the first time he didn't have a fur on. He asked the group what what they've learned in about themselves and within the process. So Shantae says she feels behind in her conversations when she talks to other people. She seems like most people are going really in depth, and maybe she is not. Um, and it was funny, y'all, because I know a couple of shows ago, one of the ladies, when referring to Darius, said that he seemed like a preacher, and I seen it. That he's not, but I seen it in this scene because she was like, "Yeah, I just feel like I'm behind," and he was like, "You're not behind. You're right on time. Don't worry about it. You right there." I thought that was funny. I was like, "I see what they're saying. He's a encourager. That's a good trait." Um, then Carday says the attributes that you like he's learned that the attributes that you like about yourself may not be the ones that others admire. Um, and then everybody seemed confused. Y'all know how sometimes there's somebody, it could be like at work, at school, in your family that is just a natural person that people like not pick on, but whenever they say something, people are quick to be like, "What you talking about? What?" That type of thing. I feel like, um, I feel like Carday is becoming that person on the show because I didn't think that was that confusing what he said. Everybody was like, "What? What you talking about? No, we talking about you. What did you learn?" I was like, "Dang, y'all." I thought he was just saying, like, for example, let's just say I love my smile and I think my smile is so cool, but maybe when I'm talking to other people, they don't even notice my smile. Maybe they're into something else. I thought that's what he was saying. Um, and so just to be more aware about that, but everybody was like completely confused. And then Ashley couldn't wait to say, "See, you shallow. That's what we talking about. You shallow." It's like, dang, Ashley. She like had something against Carday. I still don't know what happened or what it is, but every time she is one on one with him, she's like interrogating him and like, "Yeah, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing that." And she could not wait to call him shallow. Um, he says it's funny how people don't think he's deep, but he can swim. And they're like, "Dang, bro, like you kind of heavy on the metaphors and the riddles." And I agree. It does get monotonous. It's hard to talk to somebody who is constantly talking in riddles and metaphors and you got to in parables like they Jesus or something. So he was laying the metaphors on thick because I was like, now what he's swimming? Is he saying is he being literal or? So I was there too. So they were like, dang, you talking in metaphors, and he was like, I am a metaphor. That was a good one. I'm sorry, that was a good one. I was like, okay, I see you. That was deep. I liked it. Um, but that is frustrating when y'all know do y'all know people that talk like that? Everything is some type of metaphor. Nothing is direct. And so I don't know what that was with Cardi. I'm not sure what happened there. That's probably the most passionate I've seen him on the show. But anyway, so then we go over to Bello, and Ashante. Um, so Ashante is still concerned about Bello and his religion. She thinks he will make her convert eventually because that's what her friend said, because her friend is Muslim. And he says it's more about the kids and imparting the religion into the kids. So he would be more concerned about that, less concerned about her converting over. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna keep saying it. It's not gonna work out. I just think it's a small percentage of times where you can have two different religions and it work out. Why make it harder? I don't think it's a good idea. Um, and then too, the other thing about it is if you guys have two different religions, you almost need to, if you're gonna marry this person, you need to study up on their religion to understand, because religion guides the way your worldview, it guides your life. It guides how the type of spouse you're gonna be, the type of parent you're gonna be, how you treat others, money, all kind of stuff. So I would never get into, this is it for any religion. I would never get into a marriage with somebody and I didn't fully understand their religion. Not unless you're gonna be teaching it to my kids. You see what I'm saying? Um, and so I'm hoping that Ashante is not overlooking that. Um, like I said, religion is a lifestyle. So I just don't understand how you can have two different ones. I just think that's very difficult to do. Um, so then Bello mentions how he misses painting and drawing, and that's something that he wanted to do before his parents kind of talked him out of it, which was funny because I could associate myself doing the same thing if one of my sons said they wanted to be an artist. I'll be like, no, 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 you're not. That could be your second major. Okay, your minor. That could be the degree you pay for, but the degree we paying for, nah. You know what I'm saying? So I feel his parents on that. And my husband is as a graphic designer, so I get it, but still, so his parents were trying to look out for him, and he said it worked out well, right? Um, Bella and Ashante, again, I see them as really good friends. I still don't see the chemistry. I just think for Bello, it's gonna be Dominique. I don't see it with Lauren. I don't see it with Ashante. It seems like they would be like real good hangout buddies, but that's about it. Okay, then we finally get to a little bit of drama with Vince and Lauren. So Lauren confronts Vince about the date that she went on with her best friends where she invited him. And I was just like, "Do y'all talk in real life? Like, why are y'all just now talking about this?" I would have called him like immediately after. So I don't know if they encourage them not to talk. Oh, that wouldn't make sense though. I was gonna say maybe they encourage them not to have big discussions and confrontations on, like, have it only on camera or something, but I just couldn't believe they hadn't talked about that yet. So she says that it was a bad look for Vince and it made her feel uncomfortable, the whole ordeal. In Vince's view, he says that he genuinely wanted to know why they were concerned about his height. Um, and although I don't like to be on Vince's side, I was kind of on Vince's side with this. Um, I'm sensitive about my height too. If y'all don't know, I'm a little person, and pretty much I'm a pretty much a little person, and so if somebody questioned me about my height, I would, but it's weird though because Vince isn't short though. I see if he was 5'5", but you know, average height for a man is 5'8". He said he's 6'2", 6 feet to 6'2". So I don't know, but if somebody asked me about my height, I would be in my feelings too. I think, I'm just joking, but I think, um, how they handled it was wrong. All they had to do was say, "Hey, Lauren is very tall. She's 6 feet. By the time she puts on heels, she could be up to 6'4", 6'5". Are you comfortable with that?" I think that's how they could have handled it. I did think they came in a little hot and they kind of instigated the situation. I forgot how they phrased it, but yeah, they're like, "Are you 6'2", or is that what your doctor said?" And so again, if that was me, I would have been like, "Wait, what's going on?" Somebody asked me, "Are you 5 feet? Or are you really 4'8"? You know what I'm saying? I would be like, "Where is that coming from?" Like it felt like it was out of left field. So that would have been my first question too, like, "Where'd you what did I say something?" Like, so I was on Vince's side with that, um, and he said that I felt that Laura should have taken accountability for her friends as well. She was just like, "Yeah, my friends are in the right. If they wanted to keep hounding you about it, they could." But so I was with him, man. But that wasn't right. She should have said, "You know what? First of all, I want to apologize if my friends came off a little strong about the whole height thing. That's easy." But she was just taking up for her friends and everything. So I was on Vince's side. I thought they were a little out of pocket. And thing about Vince is he not gonna let it go. Okay. Most men would have been offended and kept it moving, but nah. He like, "No, no, no, we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Now, what did y'all mean about that?" Um, so yeah. Alright, so I guess that is all for episode 9. A little dry. We had a little drama there at the end, but hopefully we will get more going into episode 10. Okay. You know what? They're probably about ready to wrap up because I know in the past 2 seasons, I think it was 12 episodes. So we're getting down to the end here. But anyway, I hope y'all have had a really good New Year's. I know a lot of us are getting ready to get back into the work week next week. Um, so yeah, I got a couple of things to share. So if you have not subscribed and if you care about my life, I will be coming on probably Monday to do a mini thoughts with Dr. T. I haven't done one in a little while, so it'll be short, but I just wanted to come in and give a recap of the year and kind of the things that I have on the horizon for this upcoming year. But anyway, I will see you guys next week. See ya.